So if you're into cars at all, you'd be familiar with the name of the McLaren F1. You'd be familiar with the auto manufacturer of McLaren. Well, back in 1992, McLaren made this car that was a world-renowned sports car, even until now, but honestly, it was a world record holder until the Bugatti Veyron came out back in 2006. It's called the McLaren F1. The McLaren F1 was a standard setter. It beat all the records up until that day, and it was a beast car that everybody wanted and nobody could afford. It broke records. It did everything that everybody wanted it to do. It had a 6.1 liter V12 in it that produced 637 horsepower, and it reached a top speed of 242.95 miles an hour, or close to 243. So people most likely rounded up. However, it just turned 25 this year, which I don't think very many people realize. I mean, I was born in 1998. I'm only 18 years old, and this car is way older than me. It's 7 years older than me. So it's turning 25 now, and McLaren just released a video. I watched it yesterday and I thought, wow, that's a beautiful video. They released the video of the quote-unquote behind the scenes of the McLaren F1 top speed testing. So the McLaren F1 development team, somebody that was on it, his name was Andy Wallace. Well, somebody from McLaren called him up and said, hey, we're going to be doing a top speed run. Would you like to drive the McLaren F1? And Andy Wallace said, absolutely. He said, I definitely would like to drive the McLaren F1. Well, most people think, oh, I'd love to drive a top speed like 200, 300 miles an hour. That would be cool. But I don't think very many people weigh the risks. Andy Wallace actually admits in the video that he didn't weigh the risks. Once you get over 130, 140 miles an hour, it starts to get very, very critical that you're making sure that you're being careful with your key inputs, with the steering wheel, with the gas pedal, stuff like that. You're watching all of your gauges, and you're being very cautious about the road. You need to know the road as well. If there's a bump coming up and you're going 200 plus miles an hour, you're gonna go off the road and you're gonna inevitably die. So he states that he didn't realize the risks, but he did it anyways, and I give Andy Wallace props for that. Andy Wallace is a beast now. He held the world record for a while of going the fastest in a street legal car, street legal production car rather, and 243 miles an hour. That's quite a bit. So anyways, I've made this video just in honor of McLaren. I think the McLaren F1 is amazing. I've never actually seen one in person, but I do think that it's a great car. Back when they were shooting the video for the McLaren F1 originally back in 1992, they shoot it one time around, and the rev limiter is set, and then they shoot it the second time around, and Andy Wallace says raise the rev limiter 1,000 RPM. Well, by doing that, he increases the top speed by almost 2 miles an hour, which is amazing. So anyways, I just want to leave you guys with this. What do you guys think of the McLaren F1? I'm a big fan of it. I'm a big fan of McLaren. I love McLaren. I've been in the P1, I've been in the 650S, I've been in the 675 LT, I've been in the 570S, and 12C. All of the cars that they make are top of the line. I love them. I love them. I love them. But the McLaren F1 is a whole nother standard. It brought McLaren to the game back in 1992, and then they did their whole they waited a little while, and then they produced the 12C back in the mid 2000s. And so anyways, sorry guys, I don't mean to keep rambling, but I want to leave you guys with this question. What do you guys think of the McLaren F1? Would you get it? I definitely would get it. I know I ask that question every video, would you get this car? But I really want to know your guys' opinion. Would you get the car? I would get the car if I had $13 million going in my pocket. But would you guys buy the car? I know that it sold at auction a couple of years ago for $13 million, so that's why I stated that. But would you guys get the car? And then what do you think of the McLaren F1? Is it beautiful? Is it stunning? Is it ugly? Is it not worth $13 million? I want to hear your guys' comments. Give me anything that you want to say. Good, bad, positive, ugly. Post it on our comment section. Post it on any of our social media. We always post 2 to 3 times a day on our social media, unless it's Snapchat, which is for behind the scenes only. However, go ahead and shoot us a comment. Shoot us an email on revvinreviews@gmail.com. And I really want to hear from you guys, and I definitely want to hear from you guys in the next video. Have a great day.